Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Mohammed Shahnawaz, and today I'm going to help you troubleshoot a particular issue that many AWS users face, like logged out of SSH into your EC2 instance. This might happen if you have made some changes in firewall, like for example in Ubuntu it's UFW command. For example, you enabled it and allowed some port, for example a MongoDB port only, and if that SSH connection broke or something happened, like you can't get in, so basically it won't reconnect. So don't worry, I've got your back. In just couple of minutes I'll show you some quick steps to get you back on track. So as you can see, this is my AWS console, and this is the instance to which I have lost SSH access. Earlier there was a Flask app that was running, but it suddenly stopped working, and when I tried to get into the instance via SSH to troubleshoot, like I wasn't able to. I don't know what happened, but I tried everything, like changing security groups, etc., and like created an image out of that instance, and then again spin up a new instance, but nothing worked. So before we dive in, there are a couple of points to remember. Number one, this procedure requires a stop and start of the EC2 instance. So if the instance has any data stored on any instance store volumes, then that data is deleted after stopping the instance. Number two, if the instance is part of an Amazon EC2 auto-scaling group, then terminating the instance might also stop instances within the auto-scaling group. And third is stopping and starting the instance changes the public IP address of the instance. So it's a best practice to use an elastic IP address instead of a public IP address when routing external traffic to the instance. So let's start with the procedure. So select that particular instance and then go to instance state and stop the instance. So it might take a couple of minutes. Let's refresh it. It's still being stopped. Just try a couple of more times. So now it's stopped. So just go to action and instance settings, and then change edit user data and paste that script in the modify user data as text, this text box. Let me just quickly go through it and see what it does. So the provided bash script performs the following tasks. So this command iptables -p input accept, it sets the default policy for incoming packets in the iptables firewall to accept. This essentially allows all incoming traffic. So now this line iptables -f, this basically flushes or deletes all existing firewall rules. This effectively clears any previously configured rules in the iptables firewall. This third line basically attempts to restart the secure shell server. It first tries to use the systemctl command, which is used to managing which is used for managing systemd services. If that command fails, it falls back to using the older service command. This is done to ensure that SSH service is restarted regardless of the system's init system. So basically the if statement, this block of code checks whether there are any non-comment lines in the file matching the pattern, etc. And if that's the case, so then basically this line these code appears to be intended to allow SSH access. So in summary, this script sets the firewall to allow all incoming traffic, clears existing firewall rules, restarts the SSH service, and adds a specific rule to the etc slash hosts.allow file if there are non-comment line in certain files matching the pattern, like let's say slash host dot a asterisk or d asterisk. The script appears to be focused on ensuring SSH access and may be used for specific system configurations. So let's quickly save it and select that instance and start it again. The instance is started. Let's check if it's running. So it will take a few more minutes before it's up. So now it's up. So let's go and go ahead and then try to connect it via SSH, and let me open the terminal and paste that command and hit enter, and here you go. So now we are in. So after regaining access to instance, review the firewall configuration for accuracy. For example, UFW, firewall D, iptables, etc. And one more thing, don't forget to remove user data. Like follow the same method as previously, like stop the instance first, and then you have to again choose actions and then instance settings and then edit user data, and that delete the user data script which we have pasted in edit user data dialog box. So that was it. So thanks for tuning in today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, and you can also subscribe to my channel for more AWS tips. I'm planning for more tutorials, and you are also welcome to leave any questions or suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.